Good morning. We would like to get our first class of juniors up to the holding pen. First class of juniors to the holding pen. Zachary Peterson from North Country 4-H. You're needed in the holding area. Zachary Peterson, North Country 4-H. In our first class of juniors here, we have Nathan Taylor from St. John, Ada Miller from West Plains Rangers, Ruby Smith from Tico, Kylie Rasmussen from West Plains, Cade Smalls from West Plains, Carter Diebolt from Colfax, Aubrey Brickey from Steptoe Canyon, and Zachary Peterson from North Country 4-H. The kids in the ring here are between the ages of 8 and 10 years old.
Well, good morning. Good to be back here this morning to work through your showmanship. Just kind of some things we're gonna run through here. Obviously, if you come out and you get right back in a pen, that's a good thing. Means you made it into the next round, and so make sure you come back. We don't want to chase you down to get back here if we got more than 10 to come back for right after we do this division. Obviously, if you didn't make the cut, some things you got to work on, specifically in this group. As I tell you that, we got to make sure we're in front of the judge. We never want to go behind the judge. That's pretty well an immediate disqualification in my mind. And so if you're going behind the judge, obviously, that's a pretty easy way to make a quick exit. We got to keep our pig moving. If our pig stopped, we're not gonna catch a pin today. I think it's pretty simple right out the gate. If you can get that animal's head up in the air, make some eye contact, it's a pretty good chance you're going to catch a pin, especially in the younger divisions. One thing to say again, I know I told every kid in this group before they came out, we're not going to worry about opening and shutting gates. We're not here to watch kids shut gates. We're here to watch them show, and so don't worry about that. We'll take care of that part of the business, and we'll go from there. Let's give these kids a nice round of applause as they exit today.
Entering our Class 2 of Junior Showmen is Gracie Wade from 89ers 4-H, Logan Laz from Liberty, Kinley Tetrick from Garfield County, Mason Bullock from Liberty Knights, Bolden Reedy from Bear Mountain, Hunter Hoffman from Tico, Brooklyn Burchette from Tico, and Tucker Wolf from Steptoe Canyon. Returning from your Class 1 to our finals is Cade Smalls, Carter Diebold, and Aubrey Bricky.
Well, we get in the second heat here, and we went ahead and kept three back. You can tell those two kids we pinned right back are pretty good, and that's kind of the model we want to follow. And then from there, give kids a chance as they're out here to just kind of catch a rhythm and get a groove. And that's kind of what the other young man did, and he was able to catch a pin. You know, honorable mention this class, young lady right here in front of me does a real good job with eye contact. She knows where she needs to be. She just got to keep that pig moving. If you keep that pig moving at a faster pace, we could definitely get you a pin. As a whole, the other kids, we just got to be in the center of the ring just a little bit more. Got to be a little more intense. We got to have a little more control. Let's give them a nice round of applause.
Returning for our final drive would be Kinley Tetrick, Bolden Reedy, and Tucker Wolf. Entering the ring for Class 3, we have Evan Turley from St. John, Hazel Smith from Tico, Chet Ralston from Frog Hollow, Andrew Peterson from North Country, Zach Amon from Skyline, Kesley Lassman from Frog Hollow, Owen Wagner from Reardon, Ellie DeMars from Kootenai County, and Livia Linus from Junior Farmers.
Well, definitely a more competitive heat all the way through here. We got plenty of kids still in the ring that are doing a good job. Just got to work on some things if they want to catch a pin. I think we kept 2 or 3 within this particular heat. I thought did a pretty good job. Young lady right here going across does a real good job. Thought about keeping her. Got to work on keeping that animal's head up at just at a little better pace. Okay, and once you show like you'd show in the ring, get that animal's head up in the air and get him rolling. Young man's just got to be more aggressive here in the center. Some of the other kids do a good job of the back and forth. Again, just got to get their heads up in the air just a little bit better. Let's give them a round of applause as they exit today.
Returning from Class 3 is Owen Wagner, Ellie DeMars, and Livia Linus. We're going to have a quick gate hold for an exhibitor who is showing their lamb. And so when they get here, we'll get going. At this time, it would be an opportunity. Sunrise Photography has been in the ring taking pictures. They will have those pictures on their website. They do a fabulous job, so please check out Sunrise Photography's website. We'd also like to thank our sponsors for today. Our Showmanship Buckle sponsors is Umica Bank. Our Supreme Showman Award sponsor is Corey Stock Company. And our PeeWee Award sponsors is Palmer Livestock. So thank you to our sponsors for keeping the show going. And we'll just have a quick gate hold while we wait for that young exhibitor. All right, we're ready to roll. Entering the ring now in Class 4 of our juniors. We have Weston Wagner from Reardon, Hunter Arms from West Plains, Benny Graham from Reardon, Logan Brown from West Plains, Piper Peters from Crazy Crafter, Layla Deeds from Kootenai County, May Williams from North Country, Ava Core from West Plains, and Chase Duckin from Bonner County.
Well, last class of juniors here, our last heat of juniors here, depending on how you want to word it, went ahead and kept two. They hit me pretty hard. Honorable mention, young lady right here in front of me, does a good job of the back and forth. She's got a natural eye and just smoothness to her. We just got to work on getting that animal's head up in the air if you want to catch a pin. The rest of the kids, solid job, maybe just not as much control. Let's give them a nice round of applause as they exit today.
Returning for our show-off here will be Weston Wagner and Layla Deeds. All right, so now what we have entering the ring is going to be a runoff of our junior showman to get it down to 10 for our final drive tonight, or however many the judge chooses to keep, which will be at 6 p.m. So entering the ring, we will have Cade Smalls from West Plains, Carter Deepolt from Colfax, Aubrey Bricky from Steptoe Canyon, Kenley Tetrick from Garfield County, Bolden Reedy from Bear Mountain, and Tucker Wolf from Steptoe Canyon. Then we have Owen Wagner from Reardon, Ellie DeMars from Kootenai County, Olivia Linus from Junior Farmers. Then we have Weston Wagner from Reardon and Layla Deeds from Kootenai County.
Well, we brought back 11 within this junior division or heats, and went ahead and just kept 6 back. And basically, if you got kept back, you did a good job at just keeping your animal moving. You worked hard to keep that animal's head up in the air, and that's why you got a chance to come back for tonight. You know, I want to say the kids in the ring still do a very good job. I think we're lacking some smoothness on some of you. We're lacking just the ability to keep that animal's head up in the air at a consistent basis. And so I think those are the 2 things we can work on the most. I think you all are very talented. You all did a very good job. Should be proud of your efforts. We just got to fine-tune some things if we're going to compare ourselves to the kids that got a chance there to come back tonight. Let's give them a big round of applause for making it through their heat and getting the chance today.
Returning tonight for our overall junior finals will be Kenley Tetrick, Tucker Wolf, Owen Wagner, Ellie DeMars, Livia Linus, and Layla Deeds. Entering the ring now will be Class 1 of our intermediate show. Lillian Hoffman from Tico, Braden Hill from Hog Wild, Lily Clements from St. John, Jackson Garrison, Barnyard Buddies, Jillian Cyron from Frog Hollow, Bubba Clem from West Plains, King Rovey from Troy, Addison Miller from West Plains, and Jace Palmer from Ritzville.
We'll get our first group of intermediates here, and I think we went ahead and kept 3 back. We got some honorable mentions. Young man right here does a good job when it's time to go. It maybe didn't make the best first impression, doesn't get that animal's head up just quite enough, but when he's out here and he's rowing, he gives a good pass every now and then. We just got to be more consistent, be a little bit more aggressive, and we can definitely catch a pin in the future. Young lady right here in the middle did a great job working hard to try to get that animal's head up. You know, sometimes it's hard on animals that aren't naturally up-headed, like this pig's shoulder blade's way too far forward, so it's harder to get his head up in there. Means you got to just work that much harder to do so. A little too much stop and go for me, but you did a good job of staying in front of me. Just got to be more consistent on them. Other kids, we got to be in the center of the ring a lot more. Got to have more control of our animals. Let's give them a nice round of applause. Well, it looks like 3's been the trend so far, and not on purpose. It's just kind of how things are shaking out. Went ahead and just kept those back. I thought they all did a good job of just keeping their animals' head up, strolling across the ring, and I hope that is the trend that you're starting to see. You know, some kids in here made a good first impression. We just got to finish the job. A young man there on the far side made a good first impression. We just got to keep that animal moving, okay? We stomped and started just too many times. Other kids as a whole, though, we're in the center of the ring. We're doing a good job as that is concerned. We just got to get our animal's head up and drive just a little bit quicker for me to make a good impression, to separate yourself, because it's all a comparison out here. So let's give them a good round of applause today. I thought they did a good job.
Returning out of Class 2 will be Hagen Tippett from Steptoe Canyon, Wade Palmer from Ritzville Livestock, and Kinley Nolmeyer from Steptoe Canyon. Entering the ring for Class 3 will be Wesley Wynn from Reardon, Sophia Spilker from Reardon, Peyton Reinbold from West Plains, Kinley Calloway from Frog Hollow, Charlie Peters from Crazy Crafter, Lily Nolmeyer from Steptoe Canyon, Austin Laz from Liberty, and Paisley Orcutt from Country Kids 4-H.
One other heat, we kept two this time, and two that hit me very hard out of the gate. And just kind of a special notice to them. If you want to do well, you better be here early. You better be ready to roll. And both those kids were in the gates. They were staring me down before they even come in the ring. And typically the kids that do that are pretty good when they come right out. And so that made it pretty easy to go ahead and keep those two. Some guys, some kids out here that made a good first impression. We get out here, they're a little too much stop and start. We got to keep those things moving. I think at one time, all the animals in the ring were stopped. We got to keep them moving, keep them at a good pace, and if we do those things, we could have a better chance of catching a pin. Let's give them a nice round of applause.
Returning out of Class 3 will be Charlie Peters from Crazy Crafter Critters and Paisley Orcutt from Country Kids 4-H. Entering the ring for Class 4 will be Kendall Tetrick from Garfield County, Audrey Ray from Reardon, Violet Smith from Tico, William Peterson from North Country, Darby Watt of Colfax, Blake Braun from Liberty Knights, Carly Bricky from Steptoe Canyon, and Eli Cook from St. John. Those of you who want to sign up for PeeWee Showmanship, that is over on the table by the office directly across from me. And then we will be pulling that sign up at 10:30.
Was a whole here, a pretty good heat, but yet still every one of these kids has some challenges that kind of had to work through and maybe just didn't follow through in a complete enough package to get a pin. Young lady right over here made a great first impression. Pig's just fighting her too much. Young lady right here is always in front of me, just moving too slow out here. We got to fire you up just a little bit. Young lady right here shows some glimpses of really getting it done. Her pig's pretty dirty out here. We got to clean our pig up. We got to be in the center of the ring more. I think as a whole, though, a very good group. Let's give them a good round of applause.
Returning out of Class 4 is Kendall Tetrick from Garfield County. Entering the ring is going to be Class 5. We have Brindle Sellers from Reardon, Cade Wolf from Steptoe Canyon, Dessa Mangus from Liberty, Andy Nichols from Kootenai County, Colton Wagner from Reardon, Ryson Ramirez from Tico, Morgan Logstrom from St. John, and Natalie Arms from West Plain Rangers.
Went ahead and kept two within his particular heat. I thought both of those kids did a pretty good job. And, it's no secret I'm going to stand right here after every kid's out. And so I really hope kids are anticipating that. I haven't changed it. I'm not going to change it just to keep it consistent so everybody understands where I'm going. Obviously, those two kids were the two kids right there in front of me. And then after that, didn't really see any kids in front of me for quite some time. And so I would say to every one of you out here, we got to work on control. We got to work on being in the center of the ring, right in front of the judge. And if you can't do that, obviously you're not going to catch a pin. And so spend more time with your pigs at home. Get them trained to where you can put them wherever you want to go. And if you do those things, we can certainly catch you a pin. Let's give them a nice round of applause.
Returning out of Class 5 is Cade Wolf from Steptoe Canyon and Colton Wagner from Reardon. Entering the ring for Class 6, we will have Riley Taylor from St. John, Emma Loomis from St. John, Kellen Lastman from Frog Hollow, Caleb Henderson from West Plains, Ariel Turley from St. John, Aiden Miller from West Plains, Tyson Anderson from Liberty, and Braden Duckin from Bonner County.
Well, a little bit more of a challenging heat to work through here. I felt like I had 4 or 5 kids that kind of showed glimpses of what I want, yet just didn't quite put it together. And so that's why we're not going to keep anybody within this heat. I hope that doesn't make anybody mad, but the reality is if you're not good enough, you're not good enough, and that's the way the world works. Young man right here in front of me did a great job of just the back and forth. We just got to go at a much faster speed. There's too many times you just stopped and you just wouldn't go, and I was just hoping you'd catch another gear out here. Young lady in the center of the ring with the bluegill does a great job of being in the right spots. We got to get that animal's head in the air if we're going to catch a pin. If you were able to do that, I was going to get you in a pin. It just didn't happen today. Young man right here in the center did a great job of showing me different angles. That pig's just controlling where he's going. I need him to control where that animal's going. Young man right over here in the corner, pig just gave up on him. I thought that was going to be my lock right out the gate because I like his driving style. Pig just has got to be in the center of the ring in order to catch a pin. Let's give him a round of applause and hopefully encourage them to work on some things here in the future.
All right, entering the ring in Class 7 will be Molly Laz from Liberty Knights, Hadley Watt from Colfax, Garrett Schroen from Frog Hollow, Addison Rocha from St. John, Miles Halling from Liberty, Kate Rovey from Troy, Carter Ray from Reardon, and Brianna Soriano from Liberty. This will be our last class of intermediate showmen.
Well, another challenging group here to work through, and I will say that even through the struggles, though, I'm proud that every kid's still trying. They're still putting effort in, even when the pigs are kind of uncooperative. Young lady right here with the target-butted one worked real hard, and unfortunately, that pig just kind of gave up on her. I thought first impression was great. I thought she'd be a lock, and then that pig just wants to squeal in the corner, and that's just how it goes sometimes. But unfortunately for her, just didn't go her way today. Young man right here does a good job of getting that pig where it needs to be at times, just a little too inconsistent about it. I tell you, maybe you're a taller kid, try to get you a longer whip. It'd really help you. You wouldn't have to reach quite as far or get as far as that pig's head. But I think as a whole, good job to these kids. Let's give them a round of applause.
If you received a callback in intermediate showman, please make your way to the holding pen. If you received a callback for intermediate showman, please make your way to the holding pen. We will have a 10-minute break between 4-H and FFA. At the conclusion of our 4-H show, we will have a 10-minute break.
What's been a good intermediate heat. Went ahead and kept 6 kids I think are very, very good, and still got a lot of kids out here that did a great job all the way through. I'm going to put the mic down, and I'll try to talk to each kid individually just a little bit about some things they can work on to get better. But as a whole, I thought a very good heat. Made it very tough on me out here to try to select your best 6 or 7 or whatever we needed out here. Let's give them a huge round of applause here today.
Returning to our intermediate finals tonight, we have Hagen Tippett, Wade Palmer, Charlie Peters, Kendall Tetrick, Cade Wolf, and Colton Wagner. Entering the ring now is our first class of senior showmen. We have Trevor Garrison from Barnyard Buddies, Lillian Clelm from West Plains, Baylor Reedy from Bear Mountain, McKinley Thornton from Northwest Rangers, Avery Deeds from Kootenai County, Ty Voss from O'Sullivan, and Lucas Peterson from North Country.
Well, first group of seniors here went ahead and just kept 4 that I thought just did a great job. And then from there, still some kids that did a good job. Young man, skin and hair is very good. Your back and forth is good. We just got to be more consistent. Maybe spit that gum out and hold that whip just a little bit differently, and it'll help you catch a pin. Other kids over here just got to have a little more control. Let's give them a nice round of applause.
Returning out of Class 1, a senior showman are Bailey Reedy, McKinley Thornton, Avery Deeds, and Ty Voss. Entering the ring in Class 2 will be Presley Willis from Kootenai County, Isabel Giles from West Plains, Raylan Reedy from 48 North, Cruz Gomez from West Plains, Ellie Nelson from Barn Raised, Chance Lee from Barnyard Buddies, and Jaden Otte from West Plains.
I think we kept another 4 within this particular heat. There's less seniors, so we're going to keep more in the particular heats. Kids remaining did a solid job. We just got to be more intense out here. If we're going to catch a pin like the 4 did, I want to see you just catch another gear out here and just stay in the center of the ring, just a little better pace. I think eye contact could be better on just about all 3 of you. So let's give them a nice round of applause here today.
Returning out of Class 2 is Presley Willis, Raylan Reedy, Cruz Gomez, and Chance Lee. Entering the ring will be Class 3 of our senior showmen, Caden Schaefer from West Plains, Blake Hart from West Plains, Braden Bridges from Frog Hollow, Jersey Sconce from Frog Hollow, Ryder Voss from O'Sullivan, Kate Nelson from Barn Raised.
Well, last group here, the senior showmen, and we kept one back, and I think we're just going to bring all 9 of those that we kept back from the 3 classes back for the night, so there won't be a semis after this. But as a whole, I thought kids in the ring here did a solid job. Some of us just got to make a better first impression. Young lady right here did a good job out here in the ring. Too many times I just caught her just too much to the side of me. Other kids did a good job of the back and forth, is keeping their animals' head up, just too much stop and start. Let's give them a nice round of applause here today.
Returning from our last class of seniors was Ryder Voss from O'Sullivan. We are going to take a quick bathroom break until 10:45, and then we will start with our FFA, the first class of freshmen, sophomores. So a quick break till 10:45. All right. As we get started with our FFA show, this first class is the first class of our freshman and sophomore showmen. In this class, we have Baron Linus from Potlatch, McKinley Schroeder from Springdale, Riley Omlin from Liberty, Neil Benninger from Springdale, Malia Cook from St. John Endicott, Leslie Bothman from Liberty, and Jack Baser from Pomeroy.
Well, first group of the FFA freshmen and sophomores here elected to just keep one, and young man right here did a good job. His pig just wants to blow up on him, and that's just unfortunate. Sometimes it happens, and that's why you work with them extra at home to try to eliminate that. But sometimes you just can't control what your partner's thinking. Young lady right here, when she finally catches a groove and slows this pig down, everything comes together. Pig's just a little fast for her. Other kids got to work on just getting their heads up in the air just a little bit better. Let's give them a round of applause.
Entering the ring for Class 2 is Tyler Wynn from Reardon, Aubrielle Shaver from Connell, Michaela Toffin from Tico, Chance DeGon from Liberty, Ty Fleshman from Clarkston, Jonah Howard from Springdale, Micah Kelch from Springdale, and Lewis Adolph from Springdale.
Went ahead and just kept one for this particular heat. Again, young man did a good job just doing the basics, keeping the head up, walking at a steady pace, and just being on the right side of the pig. In this case, most of these kids are working hard to try to get there. We just got to work on a lot of things. I think more time in the ring, more practice at home will certainly help you.
Congratulations to Ty Fleshman, who will be one of our returners out of our freshman sophomore class 2. All right, entering the ring for our Class 3 of freshman sophomore are Kyle Toffin from Tico, Walker Linus from Potlatch, Lauren Loomis from St. John, Ruby Ramirez from Tico, Paige Cushman from Reardon, Trinity Fransworth from Springdale, Kylan Gines from Springdale, and Bryce Braun from Liberty.
Well, again, Kemp won, and I thought that was a fairly obvious decision. Got some kids out here working hard. Young man right over here is doing a good job really battling this pig. Just unfortunate this gilt just doesn't want to cooperate with him. Young lady right here has got great eye contact. Just got to keep that pig moving at a steadier pace. Young man, I just need you to slow your whip down just a little bit. Let's hit the pig with a purpose and try to get under that pig's chin, get its head in the air. Because you're in the right spots, your eye contact's good. We just got to put it all together. Young lady right over here made a great first impression. That pig just doesn't want to cooperate, and that's just sometimes how things work. Let's give them a big round of applause as they exit today.
Hold on. Tyler Teagues, please come to the holding pen. Tyler Teagues, please come to the holding pen. Returning out of Class 3 is Paige Cushman from Reardon FFA. Entering the ring for Class 4, we have Hatley Sawyer from Potlatch, Gracie Schwartz from La Crosse, Tyler Teagues from Liberty, Brody Sisk from Asotin, Trent Halling from Liberty, Tyson Kane from Springdale, Adrian Longstrom from St. John Endicott, and Amani Hutchison from Springdale.
Well, again, went ahead and kept one, and again, a pretty obvious and logical decision there. Young man did a good job. Honorable mention, young man right here in the middle. Pig shiny, pig looks good. He's going at a pretty steady pace. We just get in the corners just a little too much, and there at the end, just got a little too close to me. You got to just be in the center of the ring. You got to have control of your animal. Everybody else, as a whole, we just got to be in the center of the ring. Got to be able to get their animals' heads up in the air if you're wanting to compete at the highest level and catch a pin. Let's give them a nice round of applause for participating today.
Returning is Trent Halling from Liberty. Entering the ring for Class 5 will be Jacob Wegman from East Valley, Taylor Morgan from Cheney, Parker Myers from Liberty, Megan Schmidt from Cheney, Morgan Schwago from St. John, Carter Sexton from Liberty, Cooper Schwartz from La Crosse, and Elizabeth Army.
went ahead and kept 2 in this particular heat, and I thought both those kids did a real solid job of being in the center of the ring and moving at the right pace. We got some kids out here working hard to try to get to that spot, maybe just falling short of keeping their animals' head up and combining it all together. Young lady there on the far side made a great first impression. That pig just wants to ride the gate on her, but I think as a whole, a good job. Effort's still there, and I like to see that. Let's give all these kids a big round of applause, Jackson.
Returning from Class 5 is Parker Myers from Liberty and Carter Sexton from Liberty. Oh, hold on. Entering the ring for Class 6 will be Isaac Stein from Deer Park.
We don't have this one.
Summer.
Wageman.
We need Summer Wagman to the holding pen, Summer Wagman to the holding pen. Entering in our Class 6 will be Isaac Stein, Alexandra Toffin from Tico, Bailey Voss from Deer Park, Luke Wade from Lind Ritzville, Summer Wagman from East Valley, Avery West from Springdale, and Brenna Teagues from Liberty.
Went ahead and kept one in this particular heat. Tried real hard to get this young man in a pen, and unfortunately, a pick just kind of got away from him, and he was never able to just consistently be in the center of the ring. I like his pace. I like his driving style. He wants to cross over in front of me a few too many times as well. Real close. We just got to be better. Young lady right here did a good job of the back and forth. Pig got away on her once and then ran, and then as a whole, we just got to be able to get under that pig's chin, get its head up in the air. You'll have more control of him. He won't be able to run on you. As a whole, good group of kids. Let's give them a round of applause.
Returning tonight at 6 o'clock will be Luke Wade from Lind Ritzville. Now entering the ring is our first class of our junior-senior showmen. So we have Amaya Cole from Medic Lake, Aubrey Ferguson from Springdale, Reagan Haworth from Connell, Xander McNamee from Springdale, Austin Myers from Liberty, Aram Borba from Connell, Tori Fransworth from Springdale, Tyler Handicap from Colfax, and Adrian Kivington from Connell.
Went ahead and kept four within this particular heat. Definitely did a good job coming out the gate strong, and those two kids made a great first impression. The other two kids worked their way back into it, and I like to see that, make some corrections and still keep after it. Honorable mentions, young lady right here, her eye contact's very good, maybe a little too good. Okay, I want you to worry about where your pig's going as well. Sometimes you get a little too far forward on that animal as well, and that's what's making them stop and start. Other kids, good job as a whole. Let's give them a nice round of applause.
Returning out of our first class of junior seniors is Reagan Haworth from Connell, Aaron Borba from Connell, Tyler Hennicap from Colfax, and Adrian Kivington from Connell. Entering the ring in our class 2 of junior senior, we have Stella Nelson from Stanwood, Courtney Ross from Timberlake, Berkeley Shepard from Asotin, Sammy Tellison from Newport, Cooper Watt from Colfax, Garrett Schroeder from Springdale, Cameron Blankenship from Garfield Palouse, and Brock Braun from Liberty.
Went ahead and kept two within this particular heat. I thought it was real close there towards the end. Elected to just go ahead and put her in. Young lady over here does a good job, but just catching the corners too many times. We've got to have more control of our animal. Other kids out here, we just got to be more aggressive. We got to get them going, get their heads up in the air. Young lady right here is always in front of me. Got to get that pig's head up in the air, just at a better pace. Too much stopping and starting. Let's give them a nice round of applause.
Returning out of our Class 2 junior seniors is Sammy Tellison from Newport FFA and Cooper Watt from Colfax FFA. We now have our final class of juniors and seniors entering the ring. Entering the ring, we'll have Raul Leap from Warden, Ella Nolmeyer from Colton FFA, Zoe Omlin from Liberty, Amelia Ray from Reardon, Reagan Reedy from Deer Park, Coleman T. from Liberty, Carly Teagues from Liberty, and Rayleigh Fleshman from Clarkston.
Well, went ahead and kept forward within this particular heat, and definitely one of the more competitive heats, start to finish. You know, young man right here works real hard, and I like that about him, to get that animal's head in the air, just not consistent enough with it. And I think if he would have been, it would have been a pretty easy spot to get a kid in a pen. Young man right here does a solid job with eye contact, catch you wandering to my left, to my right, just a little too much. Young lady right here in the center of the ring does a good job of the back and forth. We got to work on getting that animal's head up in the air if you want to compete with those top four. Young lady right here, we just got to be more aggressive with that whip, get that head in there. But very good job to the whole class here, probably the best and deepest class of the day. Let's give them a big round of applause as we finish.
Returning tonight at 6 o'clock from our last class of junior seniors is Ella Nolmeyer from Colton, Amelia Ray from Reardon, Reagan Reedy from Deer Park, and Riley Fleshman from Clarkston. We're going to have about a 10-minute intermission break as we get our PeeWee classes ready. So I would stick around because that'll be the cutest part of the day. We'll be watching our PeeWee showman.
Well, always good when you can get kids into the ring and get them excited about showing. Let's give all these kids a big round of applause here today. Well, second group here through, and again, did a great job in the ring. Let's give them a giant round of applause.
In this class 3 of Pee-wees, we have Kenzie Tetrick, Ronan Clem, Nyla Ray, Eva Demers, Colby Smalls, Bo Ruther, Skylar Yates, Lane Lash, and Kayla Gutierrez.
Well, Class 3, we got one more to go here. We're going to keep 2 of these kids back to give them a chance to come back and compete for your champion overall Pee-wee Showman. Young lady right out here with the red belt. Young lady right over here with the blue hog. Both of these kids going to come on back. Let's give them a big round of applause.
In our last class here at Pee-wees, we have Emmy Nicholson, Marley Palmer, Brexley Burchett, Grant Cook, Colton Denston, Cambry Reinbold, Rory Loden, and Savannah Gutierrez.
Well, last group of Pee-wee Showman here, and definitely didn't disappoint, is what I'm trying to say here. We're going to go ahead and keep 2 more back, and we'll bring them back here to select you a champion. Young lady right here in front of me is going to come on back. Young lady with the blue hog right there in front of me as well is going to come on back. Let's give them a nice round of applause.
Our PeeWee belt buckle is sponsored by Palmer Livestock. Thank you for your support.
In the ring for our PeeWee final drive, we have Kenzie Tetrick, Eva Demers, Emmy Nicholson, and Marley Palmer.
We'll get out here for your champion. PeeWee final here to pick you just a grand champion, I believe. I just pick one, or did I pick two? Okay, we got two I got to pick, and that makes it just a little bit easier on me. I'm always amazed how good some of these kids can be at such a young age, because I promise you, at this age, I'm pretty sure I was picking my nose in the corner and not having anything to do with the pig. And so definitely came a long way since then, but it's amazing how good these kids can be. We got two of them here in contention for me, and obviously, kids this young aren't maybe the most consistent at times, and so I think the kid that was the most consistent, start to finish, young lady right here with the blue bud, she's going to be your champion. Congratulations to her. Reserve's a little bit more difficult, and this showman, when she's on, and when she's off, well, she gets in the corner just a little bit more, and that's what kind of beat her. But, man, when she's on, she's as good as anybody. Young lady with the red belt down there is going to be reserve. Congratulations.
Our champion PeeWee showman is Emmy Nicholson, and our reserve is Kenzie Tetrick. Girls, you can probably head straight to the backdrop with your banner. Straight to the backdrop. Emmy, go the other way.